Sammy Ladwig.
I'm Crystal Seitzinger.
I'm Nikki King.
I'm Sherma Seitzinger.
I'm Cassie King.
Let me set this up, please. And my name is Trey King, and I'm the presentator of this speech. I would like to start this off by saying I do have a concussion, so I might stutter just a little tiny bit. But, all right. Today I would like to give a speech about how penguins in Antarctica are being affected. So I want to start off with asking, have you guys ever seen the movie Happy Feet before?
Yes.
Well, if you didn't see the movie Happy Feet, it's a story about this little penguin making his way in life with no skills in singing, because penguins apparently sing in coherent English and sing pop music, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But in this story, there's this one penguin that always stood out to me. He is a rockhopper penguin named Lovelace, and there's one special detail about him that I always thought about. This one detail by himself made him claim authority over all other penguins. Now try and guess what it is. Could it be maybe a crown, special clothing he wears, or a skill he has? No. The answer is that he has a plastic 6-ring stuck around his neck, choking him. I've always wondered about how he is so clueless to the fact that this necklace is really harming him. And over time, I've started to see this type of cluelessness in the real world. Penguins or animals in general don't understand how pollution caused by humans is harming them. In our day-to-day lives, so many of the actions we take in harming the penguins down in Antarctica happen. And you might now be thinking, why would I want to listen to this 17-year-old boy talk about penguins? Well, I'm part of the problem, and all of you guys are part of the problem. And I have also had a special interest in penguins and have done research on them since I was a little kid. And I hope that after this speech, you guys will understand the little things that they do in their life the little things you do in your life that have a big impact on the penguins. And I'll go over how the penguins have been affected in their habitat, their food, and their well-being overall. So let's start with their habitat. Their habitat consists of mainly ice, and that's what they live on. They live on ice. So when they're getting affected by global warming, it's not very good. The ice melts because of that, leaving less room for the penguins to live. The warming is also caused by items like greenhouse gases, fossil fuels, and biofuel soot products or particles. These items alone have caused temperatures to rise by 2 degrees. And you might not think that's a lot, but over a while, it's going to cause a great impact. And Mark Z. Jacobson stated on December 1st, 2008, that if we wanted to stabilize the temperatures for our future world, we would need to reduce our current emission of greenhouse gases and soot particles by 80%. And all this ice melting is causing the water levels to rise, which is on to my next point. Water. It's the thing they travel and hunt in, which is also being polluted. The pollution is coming from sewage and wastewater treatments. They discharge untreated sewage into nearby bodies of water during heavy rains or snowmelt. They're not trying to do this, but there's still ways that they could improve. The water is also getting polluted by greenhouse gases and fuels, fossil fuels, like I stated prior, and these mostly come from heating our houses, the electricity, and transport. Almost every living thing in life needs 4 things to live. You need food, water, air, and shelter. We already talked about the shelter of these penguins, so let's now focus about the food. And I guess a little bit of the water because that's what they hunt in. The penguins that live in Antarctica have 2 main food sources that they eat on a normal day. These sources are decreasing due to populations that we create. The first food source is squid, and a little bit of fish, but squid is a main food source for them. SeaWorld stated that a single breed of penguins is estimated to eat about 3,500 metric tons of squid a year. And squids are also in danger from going extinct from the pollution and overfishing that we have caused to them. And one other fact is that squids are also in competition with penguins for their second food source. And this would make their second food source need to be a bigger. And that second food source is krill. SeaWorld stated that a single breed of penguin is estimated to eat about 1,500,000 metric tons of krill. And plastic pollution and ocean warmings are all affecting krill populations. It affects their ability to lay healthy eggs, development, and behavioral actions. Elizabeth Albert stated on August 11, 2022, that researchers have estimated that krill populations will eventually collapse in 2300. Understanding how their food source is being destroyed is important, but we also need to remember their health as a whole breed. We also need to understand what's happening to them, like we have just learned about the krill and the squid. Their overall well-being has been affected in ways that will take years to reobtain what they have lost. Penguin populations have been decreasing due to pollution threats for the past hundreds of years. Oil spills alone are affecting penguins in massive amounts. They are polluting the waters and killing penguins. Our Bargali stated in 2008 that fuel oil spills are one of the most widespread sources of localized pollution in Antarctica. Around 400,000 penguins also die in a year alone to oil spills. They are also affected by overfishing, but that number by itself is pathetic to see. With smaller sizes and populations, it is harder for penguins to breed with one another. The oil spills also cause the penguins' hormones to be lowered because of it. Even when there is a successful breed, there's a big chance that the mother will never come back because of she has died out in the waters because of pollution. Columbelli Negre D stated in 2015 that the return rates for penguins were extremely low, with adults having a 16.3% rate of coming back and babies having a 2.3% rate of coming back. Now, I've just talked about 3 different big ideas for you guys to think about, and I hope you've learned that the penguins in Antarctica are suffering because of that. Their habitat is suffering, their food source is suffering, and their well-being is all being affected by the pollution that humans inflict in the world. Learning about how penguins are being affected and how they can't avoid the problems we cause for them will also make you rethink the actions you take before you do them and appreciate them. And like those actions would be not taking your car to school some days. You can ride a bike if you're close enough. Maybe taking a public transport, turning off lights when you're not in the room using them. Those are all great ways to reduce your electricity and cause less greenhouse gases or fossil fuels. But penguins are lovable creatures, in my opinion, that they don't understand what's happening to them. If we think about what Lovelace thought, he thought this plastic ring that in the end almost killed him was making him more royal than the rest of the other penguins. I hope that you've learned that how we are causing them to die and might not see penguins ever again if we don't change our ways. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.